Hi, I'm Rachel Riva. Welcome to the Life on Her Terms media channel. I want to talk to you today about how to trust God in your business. That's right, I'm talking about faith and business. Look, I'm a publicity strategist. I work with faith-driven female entrepreneurs who are ready to land media coverage, become thought leaders in their industry. But even I have to say, as someone who's walked the faith journey for some time, I struggle sometimes with faith and believing in God. I do. And I've noticed some of my clients do as well. So, if you're part of any type of faith journey, it's not perfect. It's a bit messy sometimes, but I'm telling you, I have never been on my knees more than when I started my own business. So I want to help you today to trust God more in your business, okay? Because if He has called you to business, He has called you to abundance. He has called you to prosperity. He has called you to be the head and not the tail. And I'm going to give you 2 strategies today that are going to help you not just trust God more in business, but attract the abundance that He has designed for you. Okay, number 1, here we go. You need to believe it's a done deal. That's right. I recently had a client say to me who was struggling to get visible, and I said, what would it take? What is it that you need to hear for you to go live? And she said, if I knew it was a done deal, I would do it. And I thought, whoa. If you thought it was a done deal, if you believed it was a done deal, that success was coming your way, that clients would actually take action and sign up with you and buy your stuff or buy your product, act like it's a done deal, because it is. Listen to me. If you are a believer, if you have faith, if you follow God, let's just go to His word, shall we? This isn't something I made up. In Galatians 6:9, it says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. There we go. If we do not give up. The times that you are most likely to give up in business are usually when you're about to have your next level breakthrough. That's right. The next level doesn't always feel good, guys. When I was launching my first group program, going from the 1-to-1, it was hard. It didn't feel great. It felt very uncomfortable at times. I didn't feel like I didn't grace my way into it. It was a messy time, but I did it and I didn't give up. And if you look at any of the successful entrepreneurs that you have followed and the people you've looked up to, prophets in the Bible, they did not give up. Sometimes staying in the game is all you need to do to get through some seasons. And it says it in God's word. Thankfully, God cannot go back on His own word. He can't. That would mean He's not God. At your proper time, you will reap a harvest. Some of you right now are thinking, I've been invisible for so long. I've been ignored for so long. I've been doing this. It's not your time yet. That's all I can say. I can't tell you why. God is not punishing you, but He is preparing you. He is preparing you for what your next level is. That I promise you. Okay? It's separation season, y'all. Something's happening right now, and I can feel the momentum. Something's happening with people right now. You've got to separate yourself, even from your former self. It's like time to come up with the 2.0 version of yourself, the person who will go to the next level, the person who will get uncomfortable and get visible, okay? But you got to believe it's a done deal and act like it's a done deal. If you believed your business was going to be a game changer, what would you do today? Do that. You have to believe that God called you to business, not just to make it, not just to scrap by, but for abundance. He will give you abundance in every part of your life, but you have to do your part and you have to show up. So number 1, believe it's a done deal and act like it, okay? Because at your due time, and you can't rush God. I've tried to many times myself, I promise you. But you can't, and His timing is perfect. I promise you that. These people would go, they just came out of nowhere. Well, that just coming out of nowhere took them about 20 years. Look at Lady Gaga. Her being discovered took her pounding the streets in different countries with the same song for years until she was discovered. It doesn't just happen, okay? Don't fall for that. And the overnight success people you see, trust me, they're a shine in the pan, okay? They don't last. You don't want to be that person who won the $1 million and then lost it and squandered it. Prodigal son, hello. No. You want to be the person that's there building a legacy. I don't know about you. I'm not just interested in building a successful business. I want a legacy for my family that I can leave after I'm gone. That's what God's after. He's after empire builders. Are you willing to build? Look at what Abraham did. He was living in tents. God didn't say go outside your palace and look at the stars. He said leave your tent and look at the stars. I see where you're at, but look at where you're going. Believe it's a done deal, because it is, and it says that scripturally. And part of that, by the way, is changing your language. If you are that person that is always talking about how hard business is and how stressful it is and how things aren't working, well, what do you think you're going to attract more of? Heaven is listening to your language. It is listening to your language. Heaven is listening for you so that their riches can match your language. Do you know there's no lack in heaven? None whatsoever. So whatever it is you speak, you are literally making a thing in your life. Poverty attracts more poverty. Abundance attracts abundance. Have you ever seen a couple that is so well matched? Most couples are in some way. They think the same way. They talk the same way. They attract each other. It's the same way in money, in business, with clients. You are attracting everything that you're speaking in your life right now. So be so careful and start matching heaven's language. We've got a great example of that. It's called the Bible. Start declaring his promises over you like you really mean it. Because I'm telling you, God is listening. What are they saying right now? What are they saying? I can only give them what they actually believe and speak out. We need to activate our voice so that heaven can respond. Okay, so that's number one. Number two. Okay, it's so easy for people to say, yes, I know, have confidence in God, trust in God. Here's my hack for you. Can you just, for 5 minutes of your day, have confidence in God? Just for 5 minutes. I want to ask you something. So many of you are spending so much time draining your energy, doubting God and not believing and doing actually the exact opposite. What if this doesn't work? What am I going to do? What's my plan B? What if I can't pay this money? What if this doesn't happen? And it is draining all of your creativity. It is draining all of the energy that you have. So my question for you is, could you just today for 5 minutes believe that everything is actually possible? Could you for 5 minutes believe that God has amazing things for you, that this business is going to thrive, that you are going to have that 7 and 8 figure business that you desire to have, that all the dreams God has inside for you are not just possible, but they are there for the taking? Can you believe him for 5 minutes? If you can trust God for 5 minutes and take action from that place, it will be a game changer for you. It's almost like someone says, I would love to run a marathon, but I couldn't. Can you just run for 5 minutes? And then what's going to happen? You're going to run a little bit longer and a minute longer and a minute longer. If you can trust God for 5 minutes and take total action from that place of complete confidence in his word and his dream for you, wow. A lot can happen in 5 minutes. You can send an email. You can go live. You can start a YouTube channel. You can reach out and pitch yourself to media. You can, reach out to that partnership. You can pitch to a client. You can send out that newsletter. If you just fully believe for 5 minutes that God had something amazing for you, start with 5 minutes and see what happens. Because success attracts success. Energy attracts energy. And I always say the best time to get a client is when you just landed one. So I dare you to trust him for 5 minutes of your day and see what happens. All right, that's it for me. I hope that's been helpful. If you'd like more content like this, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below. It's so